Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I'm your host, Ringo. Recently, Allison Holker took it to People magazine to disclose some chilling information. Very disturbing. She displayed betrayal, where she wanted the world to believe that Steven Twitch Boss, beloved dancer who made a mark in the world, who brought people together, made people smile. She said that she was going to keep his legacy alive. But that's not what she did. His cousin came forward to speak. We're going to take a look at that video. But I want to talk a little bit because I never seen or witnessed something so evil of a widow who threw her husband under the bus to sell a book. And we're going to be talking about that book because I am calling for no one to purchase that book. We're going to be doing a separate video about that. No one should purchase that book. It's pure evil. Give me a minute. Imagine having a wife that's supposed to protect your legacy. People in the public look up to you. You pass away under harsh conditions, and for whatever reason, she want to tell the world that she found a shoebox with some mushrooms and this and that and some pills, and want the world to believe that you are on drugs in order for her to sell a book. Let's listen to this thing from Allison as we go into a world of information.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out, but it also helped me process that he was going through so much and he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone, because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain, but it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known. A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was Very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much and he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone, because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known.
If you have a soul, if you have any sort of conscious or even a connection to God, you know she's lying about everything. Everything that she said is a lie. This woman is pure evil. She never loved them. She used them. And in my opinion, she killed them. That's right. That's my personal belief. My personal belief is that Allison Holker had something to do with Stephen Twitch Boss' death. I don't believe that this woman was ever a wife at any time. For her, it was a transaction. For her, it was an opportunity to get up the ladder because really and truthfully, nobody really cared about her. They loved Stephen. He was the man. Just so happened she was his wife. So naturally, people are going to accept her because that's his wife. But she was always jealous of him. She was always jealous of him. But there's a lot of information that's coming out, guys. A lot of information, even down to the gun. Even down to the gun that they're claiming Stephen Twitch Boss allegedly used to kill himself. They're saying, hear this, that the gun belonged to the wife. We at Ringo TV Reactions commit to doing thorough breakdown investigation for Stephen Twitch Boss. I was the first on YouTube on the front line investigating the case when it first broke. I probably made more than 40 or 50 videos breaking down everything. Anything you could think of, I broke it down. We got to go through all those tapes. We got to look at all the new information that's out. We're going to break down the interview that she had with people. It was the worst interview ever. She said some of the most diabolical, evil things. Basically, in a nutshell, Allison don't want to be connected to the image of Twitch. She basically said this on the People interview, that she's tired of every time someone look at her, they always thinking of Twitch. But isn't that what they're supposed to do? Isn't that what we supposed to do if that was your husband? Like, the only reason why we know you is because of him. It's no different than if you are a child of Michael Jordan. No matter what your occupation is, anytime we see you, we're going to think of MJ. If you're Michael Jackson's son or daughter, as soon as we see you and we hear your name, we're going to think about your father because he was famous. So why would the widow of Stephen Twitch Boss, why would she imply to people that she want to be recognized individually? Now, this woman took all of Stephen's wealth, all of his money, sold the house. This woman is evil, and she's guilty, and it's going to come to pass. that she's going to be brought to justice. It's going to come to the light that she had something to do with his death. I believe that with all my heart. With all my soul, I believe that Allison is guilty. Even down from when tWitch went missing, this woman never called on the phone to call the police. She went down to the police station. Who does that? She ain't want no phone records. This woman made the family sign an NDA just to attend a funeral. Could you believe that? An NDA. Let's listen in at the brother. But first, let me salute to the chat. Salute to everybody coming in the building. Appreciate all of y'all stopping by. We're going to be covering a host of videos regarding this case. This case is going to go on for the next 5 months. We're not going to let up on this case. We're not going to leave no stone unturned. I've downloaded everything. I've downloaded all sorts of videos. Allison is guilty, guys. It's going to come to pass. I'm going to put out so many videos about this that somebody is going to open up the case with Steven Twitch Boss, and they're going to find Allison guilty because she is. There's no question about it. You want to make a tell-all book and throw your husband under the bus? Abuse his family? Abuse his mother? Did y'all know that Steven's mom couldn't even see the body in over, I believe, 3 weeks? And guess who was holding that back? Allison. Allison didn't allow Steven's own mother. Y'all remember the video that Twitch made about his mom, about his love for his mother? You remember that video? We showed all the tapes when we did our first investigation. This damn devil denied the mother access to her own son for about 3 weeks and required the family to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, just to attend the funeral. Make that make sense. Shout out to Nyla for the support. Says, thanks for keeping it real. Appreciate you for sponsoring this work. This situation ought to hurt everybody. It ought to make people that really, really was close to Twitch really hurt deeply, because no one would have ever thought this was coming. In my first initial video exposing this investigation regarding the death of Steven Twitch Boss, as soon as I clicked the live button and started to talk about the breaking news story, my chat room lit up. Everybody in the chat room was like, Ringo, the wife did it. Everybody. Now, when I do my investigations and my breakdowns, I may have a hunch about something, but at the same time, I just can't come out of the woodworks and just accuse. That's just how it is with social media, to make sure I'm protecting myself as well as the platform, and to make sure that all stones have been looked under. I have to make sure of that before. But the live chat was like, we don't even need all of that. The wife did it. And I say, you know what? We're going to have to keep our eye on her. And the more I investigated the story, the more the wife stood out. Nothing was making sense. She was speaking on behalf of Twitch, but he was dead. She was telling law enforcement, oh, he left the house. He did this. He did that. We never heard his side. And now look what she did. She made a tell-all book. Don't buy the book, people. Don't be nosy. Don't do it. She cut a deal with the devil. Think about this, guys. In order for her to even have a book, she's not an author. She's not a writer. Someone else did this to make money. They paid her under the table. She sold Twitch out for 5 shekels. She always wanted to. She couldn't wait for him to die. It is alleged that the weapon that he used was her gun. It is alleged that the very gun that they claim Twitch used was Allison Holker's gun. Remember when I did my investigation? I said, even though the gun was used, they got to give the gun back. They got to give you back your property. Doesn't matter if it was used. It's your gun, it's your property. It might have to stay within for the investigation, but once the investigation is over and he's dead and it's done and okay, let's wrap this up, they got to return the gun. Do you understand me? They'll take notes, they'll take pictures, but that's your gun. You can't keep my property, that's mine. But it's being alleged that that was her gun. Now, what are the odds of that? It's amazing stuff, guys. We're going to break down this video a little bit more. Later on today, we're going to be doing the full breakdown of the interview, the most thorough breakdown ever. Nobody on YouTube is able to do it, but Ringo TV Reactions. So stay tuned for that. But let's listen to the cousin, because the cousin sounded the alarm about the NDA when Stephen passed away. Let's check it out, because this is very important. Now, the video on the far left is an older video where the cousin took it to social media to tell the world that the family of Allison, or should I say Allison in general, required everyone to sign an NDA. Now, who does that? When have you ever attended a funeral and had to sign a non-disclosure agreement? Who does that? See, she was covering her tracks even from back then. But you know what? I got to give pushback on Twitch family. I got to give y'all pushback. Respectfully. I say this with respect. You failed Twitch. You failed him. From day one, when he was murdered. From day one, you guys kept silent because you allowed an NDA to keep you silent, because Allison convinced you that by you keeping silent, you're protecting his legacy. Now look what happened. And because of your silence, it makes you guilty as well. I got to call it all out. Everybody got to get called out. Everybody. And just because you're the family does not mean that you're off the hook. I'm calling out everybody from Twitch's family. Mom, cousins, brothers, sisters, you name it. All of you, you failed them. Because from when they told you guys to sign an NDA, y'all was supposed to say, fuck that, and take it to social media heavy. Bring it to the news media, bring it everywhere. So the whole world would be like, hold up, wait a minute. What's going on? Matter of fact, y'all was not even supposed to attend. Because if I got to sign a so-called NDA in order to see my own cousin, I'm not going. I'm going to make that my statement. That's my statement of protest. The whole fam, Mom, we not going. What? Headline news, Stephen Twitch boss family does not attend funeral. Details at 10. Big news. What's going on? Allison Holker requires family to sign NDA, non-disclosure agreement, in order to keep family secrets private. Family was offended by such matters and decided not to attend a funeral in wake of the death of Steven Twitch boss. Headline news, everybody's gonna be talking about it, and they're gonna point their fingers at Allison and say, hold up, what are you trying to hide? Why would you want the family, the blood family, to sign an NDA? Why? Why would you want them to sign that? That doesn't make any sense. You guys should have said something. You guys should have did something. Y'all should have band together heavy, but y'all didn't do that. So I have to give y'all pushback because y'all stayed quiet. I made so many videos calling out this woman. I made so many videos breaking down the case. Where were you family members to reach out to me? Y'all could have been reached out to Ringo TV and I would have aired everything out. I would have went to work. But you know what? Y'all probably saw my videos too, and y'all were getting mad. Like, look at this guy making videos. Look at this guy doing this. Well, look now. This damn devil put out a book disgracing your family, disgracing Twitch, basically saying he was on drugs, basically saying he was popping pills. Talking about, oh, we was searching the closet. We were searching the closet and we was trying to find a so-called suit for him to wear. And lo and behold, we found a shoe box because, you know, he liked to wear Jordans. And there was drugs in there. Well, Allison, I got news for you. Where is it? Where's the photos? Where's the proof? And where the hell is the woman or the man that you claim was there with you? Where are they? Listen, in the video clip, she said a good friend of hers was with her when she was searching the closet. And they found a shoebox with drugs. Now, let me explain something to you now, Allison. Let me be a little transparent. I talked about these things many times on my platform. I don't have a problem. My mom was on drugs. My mom was on crack cocaine. Do you understand me? I know what it's like when someone's on drugs. I can see it in their eye. I can see it in how they move. When you growing up back in the days, in the 80s, everybody had a relative, somebody that was on crack, somebody that was on drugs. And we all knew. I'm gonna tell you one thing about drugs, and I'm gonna tell you one thing about family. Everybody in the family know who is on drugs. You mean to tell me that Twitch's own family didn't even know? You mean to tell me his own mom don't know? Brothers and sisters and cousins? Everybody that's close to him, you're gonna tell me that all of these people, none of them know? We know which relative of ours was on drugs. And by the way, my mom eventually got off drugs, got cleaned up, did what she had to do, lived many years. But due to cancer, she passed away. And I got much love for my mom. But at the same time, to see this woman air out this man in this manner in a book, when the whole time when he passed away, she was quiet like a mouse. She ain't going on social media. She wasn't making dance videos. She wasn't doing a damn thing. And I was questioning all her moves. Then when she was selling the house, I exposed that and I was telling the public, she's selling the house, guys. She got plans. She's trying to get money and move on with a new man. And everybody was coming after me with pitchforks, telling me I'm evil. And I need to give her time to heal. I need to do this and I need to do that. No, the whole time she was running a play. The whole time she was doing Twitch dirty. Sold a house, sold the memories, That man built that house for them. And she went and sold it just so she could move on with a new man, just so that she can find her own way. She always wanted that man dead. She never loved him. And now look at what she's doing, embarrassing the family. Sold him out to People magazine. They cut her a check, guys. And think about this. This didn't just happen. This book didn't just happen. It been in the works. It been set up. Because if you listen to the audio, she said that somebody told her you need to start writing everything down. That way you can put it in a book. You could tell your story. She always had this plan. What woman, what wife, what widow take all of her husband's secrets, even if it was real? Let's just say, for example, hypothetically speaking, tWitch was on drugs. Why would you as a widow, why would you as a wife do that to the man? Why would you take his book that he wrote down and journaled in? Why would you go through it and air it out? Why would you tell anybody anything that you found? That's no different than if you're searching through his closet and you found a picture of a woman. You're gonna air that out? The man is dead. You take that to your grave. You found pills? You take it to your grave. Whatever you find, you take it to your grave. You don't even tell his brothers and sisters. Keep that between you and him. There is something called the holies of holies. When you have a relationship, ladies and gentlemen, you're supposed to have different relationship groups. There are 3. The outer court relationship, the inner court relationship, and the holies of holies. The outer court relationship are people that you see. You don't tell them your personal business. You kind of see them, you acknowledge them. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Good morning, neighbor. How you doing? And that's it. They're in your outer court relationship. They never know what's going on in your house. Your inner court, family members, friends, they're familiar with you. They'll know things about you. They know a few things about you, but they don't know all your dirt. Your cousins know you, but you don't tell them all your dirt. Close friends, they know you, but you don't tell them all your secrets. But you talk with them. But then there is the holies of holies relationship. And in the holies of holies relationship, that's your mom, your dad, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband. You can go to them and you can tell them anything. They'll take it to the grave with them. They would never laugh at you. You could cry in front of them. They won't laugh. They won't judge. They won't. Those of you who have a good mother or a good father, you can go to them and talk about anything. They won't share it with the family. They keep it between you and them. That's it. This is a husband and a wife situation. It is none of our business if that man was on drugs or doing this or doing that. And based on a couple of things that I've researched regarding mushrooms and various other things, a lot of that stuff have to do with depression or people who have anxiety to use as a remedy. So for all we know, she's taken something that allegedly tWitch may have been using allegedly to deal with certain things he may be going through personally, which is no different than if you have supplements in your house. You might have certain vitamins in your house, certain pills in your house that are supplements used to give you more energy, used to give you more of this. She may have found something and just misconstrued everything and put it out there like, oh yeah, he was on drugs. He had an addiction. Oh, he was ashamed. He just didn't want nobody to know. Look how she's adding on and on and on to the story, painting an image in our minds so we could look at the man as if though he's a horrible person. Because that's all this is. What does she stand to gain? Money, power, clout, recognition, movie deals, book deals, sitcoms, shows, you name it. This is just nasty work, people. Let's take a look at these video clips. Let's examine these things, and we're going to get into this. Let me see. Hold on a second. Okay, let's look at the first one. He did this one a while back when Twitch passed away. Let's check this one out. Okay, let's go.
For
Hold
Hollywood.
on.
One thing that I did not predict was having to sign a non-disclosure agreement in order to see or attend a memorial of my cousin. So question number one, is it standard protocol for Hollywood, especially relatives of loved ones that are considered public figures, is it standard protocol that those people would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement just to see or attend the memorial of their loved one? Two, is it standard procedure for the mother of the lost loved one to not get to see him for 3 weeks after they died?
Are y'all listening to that? This is not me making this up. This is Stephen Twitch Boss' cousin. Blood. He said that the mother wasn't allowed to see Twitch in 3 weeks because of that evil demon. She destroyed that man's life, and the truth got to be known. That man was not on drugs. That man was not popping pills. That man was on his social media speaking about political things. He spoke about injustice against black people. He was a man that brought people together, made people laugh, brought joy to people. He was successful on various shows. Do you understand me? He was around his family a lot. I got all the videos. I got all the clips. This man was energetic. He worked out. He was in good physical shape. This is not a man that's on drugs, guys. I'm sorry. We're not buying that one. Allison lied. Everybody can see through this lie. And we're going to keep this story alive until Allison goes to prison where she belongs. Because I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you with all my heart and soul, I truly believe, man, that that woman had something to do with his death. We investigated this story. If anyone from law enforcement can go into all the archive tapes that I put out there, all of that work that I've done, speaking on this story, y'all would see the play that her hand was in this. All the way from when she went down to the police station. She never called. You know, like how when there's an emergency, you call on the phone. You call on the phone and you're hysterical. You're crying. You're like, I'm worried. Where is he? My husband. She wasn't doing that. She went down to the station because she didn't want no phone records of the time, the stamps, her voice. She ain't want nothing to be used for social media because they know we can go find those phone records. Anytime you call 911 or whatever the case is for an emergency, especially in a situation that deals with high profile people, we can pull that up because it becomes public knowledge. She didn't want that on record. So she went down to the police station and walked herself in to report him as missing. Who does that? Who does that, people? Come on, who does that? She knew from the beginning why he went down to that motel. She knew. Where's the Ring camera footage? Everybody has a Ring camera. These things y'all all gotta pick up on, y'all. Where's all the footage? So you mean to tell me y'all have a house with no cameras? These are the things that we talked about in our investigative news reporting. Where's the cameras? Where's the footage of him going to the motel? Where is it? Where's the footage? Where's the footage of Twitch walking in the motel, leaving the motel, walking through the hall, through the corridor to get something to eat? Where's his car? Where is it? These are the things we talked about, but nobody giving answers. Normally, when someone goes to a motel to commit the unthinkable, you'll see them at the front desk. Hey, how you doing? I'm here to get my room. Here's my key. We'll see the transaction. But they never gave us this info. Where's the footage, people? We need law enforcement to open up the case and investigate Allison Holker. We need to investigate her. Anybody from law enforcement knows that this woman is guilty. She's writing a tell-all book, telling the world that her late husband, that he had a box in a closet. Now, all of you detectives, y'all got the skills. Y'all know the game. Do you really believe this? That a wife of all these years somehow looks through a closet, finds a shoebox, opens it up, and there's drugs? Okay. Well, if there's drugs, okay, how come she didn't call law enforcement? If she made this discovery, surely she would want this documented. Surely she would call the authorities to the house. That's no different than finding, stacks of drugs and all. Call law enforcement over so that they can bring it in and use it as an investigation so that we can make note of this, create a paper trail, find out exactly what's going on. I'm pretty sure everybody in law enforcement would agree with me. I mean, if you find said materials, you would want this to be brought forth as investigation so that we can bring this in and possibly look at all of the information regarding autopsies and various things to find out, did he have drugs in his system during death? Because based on the autopsy, based on all the information about Stephen Twitch Boss' death, there was never anything there that indicated drugs. Come on now. This man didn't have drugs in his system. So where is she getting this playbook from? I'm going to tell you. Remember the tapes that we put out with the information where TMZ said that there was a note that was left behind alluding to past struggles? That's what she's doing, guys. She took a play from that tape and she's trying to connect it to her finding alleged shoebox with pills, mushrooms, and various other substances. But she didn't make any phone calls to law enforcement for them to come to the estate so that they can actually investigate these things. So basically, she omitted what she found during that time, sold the property, basically covered up all evidence, got rid of everything to cover her tail, and now she's trying to tell you this in a tell-all book. Well, she needs to be investigated, guys. Law enforcement need to investigate Allison Holker. Because if she found drugs, if she found this, if she found that, why wasn't that reported? Why wasn't a phone call made so that law enforcement can come in and that could be used in the case? Because perhaps they can investigate what kind of drugs, if there were drugs, so that they can run proper tests to find out if it was drugs or if it was some prescription pills or it was something that he legally obtained from a physician, so that his name is cleared, or so that they can use a part of their investigation to see if there was foul play with drugs or maybe he was under the influence. How come she didn't do this? Allison, how come you're telling People magazine that you found a box with some pills? Do you even know what these pills are? So you're basically implying that they're drugs. Did you get these things tested? Why you didn't call law enforcement? Why you didn't have anyone take these substances so that they can run proper tests? I mean, wouldn't you want to investigate whether or not your husband was in fact on drugs, or are you just taking this and run with it to sell a book in hopes that all of his fans will run out and buy a book from you? No, I say we boycott her book. I say no one purchase her book. I don't want her book. I don't need to know anything because we know she ain't write it. She ain't write the book because she's not a writer and she's not an author. So someone else is writing this book. Someone else is writing the story about Twitch, and we're not going to allow that. I said we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow Allison Holker to get rich off of a book telling lies about Stephen Twitch Boss. We're not. Like all of us, we all have struggles. Every last one of you have some sort of struggle that you either had, overcame, or still going through. She's supposed to be a wife. A wife, a widow, would never, a good wife, would never air out her husband like this. There are some things that happen in a marriage that no one's supposed to know. No one is supposed to know. That's between you and your wife. Never supposed to hit the streets, ever. Again, I asked the question, Allison, because I know you're watching. Oh yeah, I know you're listening. And I know you've been watching all my videos. And you've been hiding. And now all of a sudden you got time to speak. A tell-all book? Really? You found drugs, but you didn't report it? Where's the report of that? And where is this friend? Who is that friend? Who is this good friend of yours? We need to interview them. Law enforcement should interview them. Since this is what you're saying, you said that you were with a good friend. A good friend? Do Twitch know of this good friend? Because I don't think this good friend is a friend of Twitch. I don't think so. I don't think this good friend you claim is someone that Twitch would agree with. If what you say is so, we need to bring that witness forward to prove whether or not you are telling the truth. Because I don't believe you're telling the truth at all. I believe you are lying. I don't trust you. You don't look like a trustworthy person. From the day Twitch died, you have been showing no emotion. None. You have no empathy for Twitch. None. None whatsoever. You've shown no signs of a grieving wife. You have shown no signs of a wife who is hurting because of the loss of a husband from day one. And we've been investigating this story since day one. Let's listen to the cousin again.
One thing that I did not predict was having to sign a non-disclosure agreement in order to see or attend a memorial of my cousin.
That, sir, was a red flag. From when you had to sign a non-disclosure agreement to see your cousin to attend a funeral, that right there should have told you that Allison was up to something dirty. Because nobody does that. Your family. Why would family? Why would blood relatives have to sign something like that? Why?
So question number one, is it standard protocol for Hollywood, especially relatives of loved ones that are considered public figures, is it standard protocol that those people would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement just to see or attend the memorial of their loved one?
No, it's not protocol, sir. You should know that already. You're a grown man. You know, you're of age. You know that. That's not protocol, sir. You are the family. Family is blood. If someone dies, everybody that's family and friends, they're allowed to come to the funeral. Heck, you even have strangers that come to funerals just because they seen them in the streets and they appreciate them. By the pure fact you have to sign documents mean that she didn't want y'all to talk about what you witnessed. And see, this is sad, man, because y'all the family. So there's things that you guys seen, there's things that you guys witnessed, and you guys are letting an NDA stop you from speaking the truth. And this is why I say that even Twitch's family failed him in this case, respectfully speaking. I know how family is, man. Family could be good and bad, cruel, jealous, hateful. We seen it all. We all got family like that. Some love us, some hate us. Some never have our back when we're going through trouble. And in this situation, I feel that you guys should have been doing a better job, because from when this story broke, I made it very clear. Where's his brother? Where's his cousin? Why the mom not speaking? What are y'all doing, man? This woman is out here running rampant, doing evil, and the family was just sitting there not saying nothing. She manipulated you guys into believing your silence was protecting his legacy. And I believe that many of you wanted to speak, but because you thought by speaking it was going to hurt his legacy, you all stayed quiet, even though the red flags were there. And this is why I'm saying you guys did him dirty too. I understand now y'all hurt because of what she did, but y'all failed your blood relative. You failed Twitch too, and y'all got to be held accountable to the situation too. You guys saw all the red flags. Allison, where is the memorial for the fans? You think we forgot? Allison promised that she would do something for the fans, for Twitch, so that all the fans will be able to come out and show their love and their support for Twitch. Up till now, we in 2025, and she still haven't done it. Up to now, the fans of Stephen Twitch Boss wasn't allowed to grieve. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand something here. Let me break this thing down for you because you may not understand. Now, I wasn't following Stephen Twitch Boss the way you fans of his was. Some of you fans knew Twitch from the beginning. No different than you folks that grew up watching Michael Jackson. You folks who grew up watching Michael Jackson, you grew to love Michael Jackson. You went to his concerts. People would pass out. Literally. There are fans that look at Stephen Twitch Boss the way they do Michael Jackson, guys. They followed every dance routine, every video. They watched him on the Ellen DeGeneres show. They watched everything. They know everything about him religiously. They weren't allowed to grieve. These very same people cried. They shed tears when they found out that Stephen Twitch Boss died. They couldn't believe it. As soon as they saw the headlines that he took his life, they was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. First of all, this man had too much love for people. He used to write posts on his Instagram, giving people encouragement. Those of you that are going through depression and different things, he would do this every time. He would make videos talking about the injustices done to black people, white people, all sorts of different issues. He would bring it forward. Not only that, he had various other projects in the works that he was banking on. Even Master P came forward and said that Stephen Twitch Boss was supposed to DJ for him in an upcoming party or some sort of celebration, some sort of event. It was said that he was supposed to do that. Not only that, he had other shows and different things planned. So why would he, a man, a father, a husband, a leader, a dancer who captivated millions, why would a father who loved his children decide that it is best to take his life and end it all with all the things that he had going for him? Why? It makes no sense. Stephen Twitch Boss was murdered. They plotted on him and they murdered him. And it is my belief, my opinion, which is my right, that Allison Holker had something to do with this. Because the way she been moving from the beginning till now speaks volumes. Let's listen to the other half of this video, and then we're going to listen to the newer version where the cousin made an updated video.
Two, is it standard procedure for the mother of the lost loved one to not get to see him for 3 weeks after they died?
There's no standard procedure that says a mother get to see her son 3 weeks after he died. Allison Holker is evil. The mother should have had access. Anybody that die in Hollywood or in the industry, the family always have access to their loved ones. The general public won't have access, but the family always have access. That's normal. 3 weeks is a long time. 3 weeks is an eternity. Imagine someone you love pass away. All of you that are viewing right now, you have loved ones. You have children, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have cousins, you have people in your family that you really love. I'm not talking about fake love. I'm talking about love. You really got love. And if something was to happen to them, you'll lose your mind. You won't even know what to do. Some of these people did pass away and you lost it. You lost your mind. You didn't know how to move forward. You didn't know how to readjust because that person was so a part of your life. Them being ripped from you took part of your life with them, and you didn't know how to move. You fell in depression. You were alone. Some of you went on to drink. You was tucked away from society. You just didn't want to live. You didn't want to do. There's a lot of things you had to go through before you were able to overcome those emotions. Now imagine a mother who birthed a child, raised him, seen him grow to a man, became a grandmother, and for her son to die such a horrific death, and she was denied access to her son for 3 weeks. Think about her pain. Imagine a child dies and the hospital and everybody is not giving you access to your baby. Your baby is gone. I want to see them. You can't. You got to wait 3 weeks. 3 weeks of torment, 3 weeks of pain. That's what the mother went through because of Allison. Now check out this video, guys. Check out this video because it gets even more interesting as we go. Check this out.
You know, I just have to say something. You know, I feel like somebody from Stephen's natural family should say something. And you know, the last time that I recorded, I pretty much was talking about the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and how we were asked to sign it in order to see Stephen or memorialize him at his funeral. And I'll be honest, you know, I'm not a celebrity. It was very difficult to navigate the whole concept of having to sign a piece of paper in order to see my cousin, whom I loved and valued. And so that was very difficult. But the entire time that we were asked to sign that NDA, the rhetoric was that we were doing so to protect his legacy. And as I stand today and I hear what's in the news and I see what's going on today, I refuse to believe that NDA, the reasons why we were asked to sign the NDA had any merit, because there's nothing that happened today that was meant to protect his legacy. And, you know, sadly, it's just a time where we're having to peel back the layers and see just a tidbit of what Stephen had to endure. And being that none of us, the family, you know, for a person to be married to somebody that committed suicide, and then that person supposedly find a shoebox, disclose the contents of the shoebox with the entire world, then read that your loving husband's journal, private personal journal, and then share the contents of that with the world, it's very difficult to believe that you have any interest in protecting his legacy. And you have kids. You're always talking about how you're so concerned with how the family moves and the things that is being said on our personal pages. But you can go straight to the source and find out that you're delivering contents of shoeboxes. So let me ask the question, who stands to gain from this? Is it the world or is it you? Because nobody benefits from you supposedly dropping dimes about your late husband. Honestly, that's the weirdest energy. It's weird. We all know that knew Stephen, that loved him. When he died, we all showed him honor. We've all showed him appreciation. We've given him tributes. We've given him posts. You can carry on the charade with the public world, but we know exactly who you are. We see you. We dialed you up. And at the end of the day, you can act like however you want to act. You can be as Hollywood as you want to be, but you still got to live with yourself. Do you like what you see in the mirror? A liar? A narcissist? For what? You leverage Stephen's death to elevate yourself. It's sad. It's sad, and you know, I just know it needs to be said. And I don't know who's going to say it. I don't know, but it's me. You know, it's me. And, you know, Stephen was somebody. He was great. He was remarkable. He was talented. He was gifted. He was nurturing. He was respectful. He was mindful. And I know 100% that if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be revealing the contents of your shoebox with the world. And your journal would be intact with him because he'd have respect and honor for who you were. Much better than I can say for you.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, everything that he just finished saying there is real. If the shoe was on the other foot, would Stephen reveal the contents of her shoebox? He won't do that. I believe she made up the whole story, guys, just to make the book interesting, just to make people buy it. I believe that's the situation. There's a lot that he had to say there. I want to break it down. But before we do that, I want to go back to the video with Allison so we could get a little recap. And again, later on, we're going to do the full breakdown of the interview that she had with people. We're going to do the full breakdown. That interview was so disgusting. There's so much evidence in that video that would put her at the scene of the crime and show she's guilty. And nobody else will be able to break it down other than Ringo TV Reactions. Nobody else. Because when we do these breakdowns, we do them thorough. Because we look at all the details. And we want the viewer to be able to walk away to think and make your own decisions. Say, wait a minute, you know what? After listening to the tapes, after listening to the review, everything you said is making sense. Listen to this.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet.
Now, notice what she just said, because you got to listen and you got to pay attention. When I was a kid, I had a teacher. I still remember her name to this day. Her name is Miss Honadale, a white lady. And she loved the kids. And one thing she taught us is how to read to understand and how to listen and have good comprehension skills. Pay attention to what she just said. You have to listen carefully.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet.
We were what? I was with one of my dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet. Now notice, it goes from cleaning out the closet to something else. Now watch this.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral.
You see the difference? It's two different stories in one. You said you were cleaning out the closet. When you're cleaning out a closet, you're not looking for something for a funeral. You're getting rid of stuff. Meaning, everybody's moving, you're packing the things, and you're cleaning out the closet. You're getting rid of stuff. And that's why the friend was there. Who is that friend? We don't know. But you were cleaning out the closet. Because you weren't planning on staying. This has nothing to do with the funeral. You were cleaning out the closet, getting rid of stuff. Now you switched it to, oh, we were looking for some things for him for the funeral. Well, it's not in a shoebox. If you're looking for clothes or something to put on, you wouldn't be looking in a shoebox. So you weren't cleaning out a closet. It's two conflicting stories.
And it was
Let's rewind that back.
a moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed.
What do you mean you did not know existed? That it was a real triggering moment for you? That don't make sense.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me.
So you needed a friend to help you pick out an outfit for your husband that passed away. You need a friend to pick out an outfit. That don't make no sense. And it wouldn't even take you long to pick it out. You would know what to pick. You would know what he liked to wear. You would know his favorite outfit. It would be pretty easy to do. These are lies, people. They paid Allison millions to do this dirt. She saw the dollar amount. She said, I'm doing it. She saw the dollar amount of what she's going to make. She said, oh, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. We need the book. We need the book to be very spicy. We need to make readers want to buy the book. We need something. Give us something. You know what? I think we can say he had drugs. We found a box with pills and prescription pills, and that's perfect. Because it goes back into the letter that they claim they found at the crime scene, alluding to past struggles. Get it? So now we could tie the past struggles to the fact that she found a box with pills, mushrooms, and other stuff, which goes to, yeah, he had struggles that he was ashamed of, child abuse and various other abusive things. Perfect. Let's put that in the book. It'll sell. We're going to make millions. But they already paid her. She already got bread. She already got the money, guys. This is how dirty the game is, y'all. The game is dirty.
A moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life.
So how come you ain't called the police? Allison. Although this is pretty much the beginning of our investigation on you, this video here is going to be very eye-opening for the viewer. You basically just said it was scary. So now let's examine the situation here. You went into the closet with a very good dear friend of yours. You allege that you were trying to find an outfit for tWitch due to his passing. You find a box. You look at the contents of the box. So that means that this friend of yours should be standing by, which means there is a witness. My question to you, Ms. Allison, is how come you didn't report this to the local authorities if these drugs appear to be in your house? It would be in the family of Stephen Twitch Boss' best interest that you report these items and these findings and not omit that from the story. You never made no call. You never reported this. Did you tell anybody in his family that you found drugs? No. See, these are all red flags. Any detective that would be on this case, looking at all of these red flags, inconsistencies, and different issues, it just doesn't add up. You're making a story up. Because when we look at Stephen Twitch Boss' character, he don't appear to be a man that's on drugs. He never looked like he was high. He never looked like he was struggling with drugs. Never. The man was in shape. He hit the gym. He worked out. You on drugs, popping pills, you don't look physically fit. This man danced. This man was, he taught other people how to dance. People wanted to be like him. Millions of people followed him on social media. So you mean to tell me you found a box? What kind of box? Did you take a photo of this box? So you mean to tell me you found a box with drugs, you didn't take a photo of it as a record to show law enforcement the proof? How do we know this is even true? Allison, do you care to show this to the public? I mean, being that we're in 2025, you should have an old photo which shows said material. If there were prescription drugs and various pills, we the public would need to see these items, and law enforcement would like to know more about this so they could do a thorough investigation, so they could find out exactly what could have possibly happened. I mean, was he selling these pills? Where did he get it from? Maybe there are other people implicated in his death. See, these are the type of things that I like to bring out in my investigations, because it's like, okay, you found a box with pills. He had to get it from someone, right? Which means he might have a supplier. See? So that brings into question more involvement of other people. Perhaps a dealer. Perhaps he went to the hotel to meet the dealer. Perhaps you have some involvement with these drugs that he allegedly had. How do we know all these different things? These are the kind of questions, ladies and gentlemen, you have to ask in order to get to the bottom of the case.
That I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out.
If it was a real scary moment, where's the authorities? Because the world said that your husband took his life. At no point did you stand up as a wife and said, that is not my husband. He would never take his life. You never said that, not once. And this is something that we brought up in our investigation, why Allison never denied the public story that came out about him taking his life. At no point did she come out and said, I refuse to believe that. That did not happen. She went with the program, guys, because that was a part of the narrative. That's what she wanted the public to believe. Because they had this in mind. That's why we have the pills. That's why we have this. So now they can say, okay, he was on drugs and he decided to take his life. But the autopsy didn't bring up no drugs. The autopsy didn't bring up anything. So the question is, what's really going on? Think about that. So what really is going on? You see that? She's hiding all this information, and she planned it out from the beginning, guys. From the beginning. She said that this man woke up in the morning, walked out the house, and just went to a motel. She ain't have no clue where he left. So y'all ain't have no argument. Y'all ain't have no words. Where were the kids? And where's the Ring camera? She took those Ring cameras off, guys. She took everything down. Everybody has a Ring camera. Everybody. Everybody have cameras around their property. Everybody have a camera. She scrubbed all information to hide in the shadows, covering all her tracks. She's working with someone. There is someone that she's working with. She's not as smart as she thinks she is. See, what is done in the dark eventually will come to the light. And we're going to be very thorough in our investigation. And you don't want to miss the full breakdown of the interview. It's going to be very, very interesting. Because basically her mission right now is to detach from Stephen. She don't want to be recognized with him no more. She stressed that in the interview. She want to be her own person. She's tired of every time they talk about dancing, they think of tWitch. She don't like that. She want to be separate from that now. That's what she always wanted. She always was envious of Stephen throughout the whole relationship. We did all the video breakdowns from when they first got married. We looked at all the tapes. We saw the body language, and I made people understand. She don't love that man. She don't love him. And there's a lot of women that get married to men and they don't love him. They don't. They get with them for transactions. Y'all seen the situation with Tyrese. Even though he make bad decisions when it comes to women, the wife that he married, He said it was a transaction. That she had him online crying. Transaction. Wasn't about no love, man. Let's listen in.
It also helped me process that he was going through so much.
How could she say he was going through so much just from finding a box? Just from finding a box with some alleged pills and mushrooms, she want you to believe he was going through so much. How do you know that? You said you didn't know nothing. So how could you tell the public he was going through so much? You're lying. You're making up a story as you go.
He was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that.
How could he be hiding so much, and there's a lot of shame in that, if said box was in a closet where you live? How could you be in a house with a man married to him all these years and don't even know what's in the closet? Isn't that crazy? I mean, if you live in a house, you're supposed to know everything that's going on in your house. It don't make no sense. How could you be a man or a woman living in a house with a spouse and don't even know what's going on in that house? You don't know what's in the closet. In this house, I know every part of this house. Throughout the attic, everywhere. I've been everywhere in this house. I know what's going on at all times. You understand? So how come she don't know? She's making up the story as she go. How do we know Allison is not allegedly on drugs? Because she showed the signs of one who is a narcissist. She shows signs of one that is under some sort of pill. Because she don't seem to be there. When she talks, it's like she's there but not there. Something's wrong with her, guys. We're getting down to the case.
To figure that out, but it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And
why would you tell the public that your late husband was going through so much and was hiding it? Because when you say hiding it, you're saying hiding it from you. How could he hide it from you if it's right in the closet? That's not the signs of a person that's on drugs. Normally, and I'm going to break this thing down again. If you've been watching the stream, I made it very clear that my own mother was on drugs. My own mother was on drugs when I was a kid. And I seen her struggle. She eventually overcame drugs and got clean. But my point is, I know what it looks like when someone's on drugs. Looking and judging tWitch and how he moved, that man was not on drugs. He wasn't. But the question is, what about Allison? Is she on drugs? And could she be projecting her own fears, situation, and habits onto him? Normally, people do that. Normally, people that are guilty, they project their own issues and struggles onto someone else so that we could look at him as if though he's hiding or been hiding a secret when it's really possibly her who been hiding the secret.
And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone.
Self-medicate? Are y'all seeing the words that she's using? She's saying, now think about this, guys. She just found a box that contains some items. And now she's telling the public, oh, he was self-medicating. So now you're alluding to him trying to get well, trying to rehabilitate himself, trying to remedy a problem that he allegedly had. But you're the wife, and you didn't even know what he was going through. How could you be a wife living with a man you don't even know if he's depressed? You don't even know if your husband got anxiety. He lives in the house. Anybody that's a couple is supposed to know their mate. You mean to tell me you're not even watching? You're not even looking? Of course you can know. How come she didn't know? She's making up these stories, guys.
because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain.
Think about what she just said. He loved everyone. He didn't want nobody else to take on his pain. Woman, you said you found these things in the house. So you're going to tell me he didn't love you? Why would he be on drugs and not come to you and break down his fears and his issues to get help? You're lying. I think that it's you, Miss Holker, who may have allegedly been on drugs the whole time. And you may have been keeping it a secret, and you, in your greed to take his wealth, resources, and power, may have allegedly set him up to be killed and make it look like he took his own life. Because you was jealous of him the whole time.
But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known. A moment I was with one of my really dear friends and we were cleaning out the closet.
We need to know who that dear friend is. What's her name? What's his name? You never told us who is who. Who is this alleged friend? Police need to speak to them. Law enforcement need to examine this friend because they're a witness to a possible crime. If drugs was found in a closet, it need to be reported. Why didn't you report these drugs? That means you have been tampering with evidence. Come on, people. Come on. Hit that like button, fam. Subscribe to the channel. She was tampering with evidence. If a man passed away and you found drugs, that's evidence. That's supposed to be brought forward. So you discarded evidence and didn't allow anyone to cross-examine or to test whatever it is you found? Do you think that's smart as a wife? Does that make any sense? Now think about this scenario. What if, hypothetically speaking, tWitch was under the influence of drugs that was given to him by a third party, which caused him to lose his mind and take his life? Hypothetically speaking, why would a wife just assume he was on drugs and was struggling and not conclude that there needs to be an investigation about these drugs to see where it came from, what it actually is, and what could it do to the mind that could trigger a certain reaction out of a person? She's not a smart person, guys. And like I said, she needs to be investigated because she tampered with evidence. If someone died by way of taking their life and you go through their personal belongings and find drugs, this, that need to be, law enforcement have to be notified. So they could take this information and use it to open an investigation on where it came from. Prescription drugs, where did it come from? How did he get a hold of it? You just can't get a hold of these things. It had to come from somewhere. They could verify where it came from. Dates, time stamped, so we could find out how long he been using said drugs. She destroyed all the evidence, guys. And now she's trying to label him as a man who was on drugs and struggling and was ashamed, but never told his wife, never told the media, never told the people, his friends, fans. It's all a lie, people. These are lies. Let's go back to the cousins so we can break these things down.
Somebody from, I just have to say something. I feel like somebody from Stephen's natural family should say something. And the last time that I recorded, I pretty much was talking about the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and how.
And that is the video that's on the far left. He was talking about the non-disclosure agreement that the family had to sign in order to attend a funeral. which should have been a red flag to the cousin and everybody else. I personally believe that the family of Stephen Twitch Boss should have done something from day one. You guys really dropped the ball on this one. Your family member was murdered. And I believe that you guys may have believed the narrative the media put out there that he took his life. I think that you guys really believed that narrative and you didn't want to believe nothing else. And see, this is why as family members, you really got to keep your eyes and ears to social media, because a lot of times you'll have people like myself that will break down videos covering a story. And we already cracked the case already. Stephen Twitch Boss was murdered. That man did not take his life. We done a thorough investigation regarding the case. That man had too much to live for. He had a lifestyle that many people would dream of. He had money. He was not broke. He was not struggling in none of these different areas. He spoke out about various issues. He had a lot of projects in the work. He had several projects that were lined up, successful projects that can help make him money and put his family and his children in a better situation. And for whatever reason, it was all taken from him. And if I'm correct, he even recently had got the house that they were living in. He did all of this for his family. He built a legacy. He built something great for his children. He even became a stepfather to a child that is not even his. Allison's elder daughter, that's not his child. But he was with her and took care of her as his own. And look at how she did him. Did him in the worst way. No one should ever air out their mate like this. Because the thing is, Stephen is not here to defend himself. He's not here to say, wait a minute, guys, she's lying. I never did drugs. She's lying on me. The man is spinning in his grave, guys. Stephen Twitch Boss is spinning in his grave due to what's going on right now. And to think about it, they have children. And now the children have been indoctrinated into believing that their father took his life. Do you know cowards take their life? Regardless what you may say, anyone that commit the unthinkable, they're a coward and they're selfish. And they're not thinking about all the people they leave behind hurting. They're not thinking about that. They're selfish. Very cowardly thing to do. Especially when you have kids. No man that have love for his kids would take himself out. Now, here's the thing. Now, watch this, guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this one. This is deep. When you have a person that is about to do the S word, yeah, I know what the S word is. They normally take out their whole family. Kids and all. Go do your research. Men, even successful men that got a lot of money, when they're ready to take themselves out because they're just under so much stress, they take the whole family out. Everybody. Kids, wife, anybody that's in their house, they take everybody out, not just themselves. Because in their mind, I'm taking all of y'all with me. I'm tired. They don't just go by themselves. I've read stories of multimillionaires that was so stressed out, they took their family out, their kids, wife, everybody, then took their life. The situation with Twitch, it makes no sense because nobody have no info or proof that he even did anything yet. If Twitch took an Uber, because it is said that he left the car. It is said that he left their car and took a Uber. Okay. Date, timestamp, driver. All of that should be public record. All of that should be information that could be verified. Who was the driver? Was it Antonio? Was it Gilbert? Who was driving the car at that time? at such and such hours of the day, there was a call made to come pick someone up at the residence. That should be documented on file. It should be able to be tracked. Street cameras should be able to show the car en route towards the motel. When the car pulled into the motel should have cameras. We did all of this, guys. We did a thorough investigation of the hotel he was at. We found cameras. We found cameras in the lobby area of the motel. And we posed the question, where's the surveillance? Where's all the information? How come there is nothing showing him getting out the car, walking into his room? There is no evidence that the man was even there. How do we know that even happened? How do we know the body wasn't just brought there? How do we know the body wasn't just brought there and thrown into a room and made to look like he did something? Because up to now, nobody have brought forth evidence. We've seen many videos of people committing crimes, and they would show footage of them walking into the convenience store, walking in the motel. How come in this case we don't see nothing? Even in the death. Listen, now watch this now. Even in the death of Takeoff, even in the death of rapper Takeoff, they didn't show us no footage of the other brother that they allege pulled the trigger. They didn't show us nothing, but they told us he did it. But they didn't show us no footage. There's a lot of evil going on in this world, ladies and gentlemen. Very evil world we live in. Let's go.
I asked to sign it in order to see Stephen or memorialize him at his funeral. And I'll be honest, I'm not a celebrity. It was very difficult to navigate the whole concept of having to sign a piece of paper in order to see my cousin whom I loved.
But see, that's the problem. You knew it was a red flag from day one. You knew it. You knew there was something wrong. That was when y'all was supposed to say something.
Value. And so that was very difficult. But the entire time that we were asked to sign that NDA, the rhetoric was that we were doing so to protect his legacy.
No. How do you protect someone's legacy if they're basically telling you to keep quiet? Signing an NDA protects the other person from you guys talking. That's no different than if a man is dealing with a woman and he make that woman sign an NDA. It's because he don't want what they do together to leak on social media. So the whole purpose of the NDA is to prevent the family, friends, and any attendees or anyone who have cell phones, cameras, or whatever to leak any information or to talk about anything that they witnessed or seen. That's what that's for. And that keeps Allison off the radar so that she could just do whatever she want to do, knowing that you all agreed not to talk.
And as I stand today and I hear what's in the news and I see what's going on today, I refuse to believe that the NDA, the reasons why we were asked to sign the NDA had any merit, because there's nothing that happened today that was meant to protect his legacy.
And that's true. The blinders have been lifted from your eyes because now you realize she manipulated and deceived all of you into signing documents. Because now that she put out all this info, it is clear she's not protecting his legacy, because now she tainted his legacy. His legacy is looking bad, just like with all the greats. They told us that Michael Jackson abused and molested kids, destroyed his reputation, his name. You know what I'm saying? Those of us that loved Michael Jackson and appreciated his music, we would never believe these lies. But I'm saying, like, the newer generations and so on and so forth, they all look at Michael Jackson as a pedophile. They did the same thing with Bill Cosby, destroyed his name, destroyed his reputation. You understand? They did that with R. Kelly. Some of you might disagree and be like, R. Kelly's a monster. Believe what you want to believe, guys. The industry have a way of destroying your name forever. And think about it, R. Kelly actually wrote a lot of Michael Jackson's songs too. Ain't that interesting? It seemed as if though anyone who is successful, primarily if it's a black man, they pay close attention to destroying their reputation forever so that you don't look at them no more.
And, sadly,
oh yeah, even Whitney Houston, I forgot about that. The late Whitney Houston, they even killed her daughter. That's right. Made her out one of the best vocalists, one of the best voices in history. Now, when people think of Whitney Houston, the first thing they think about is a drug head. Ain't that something? We loved Whitney Houston. She could sing. She sounded just like the records. She could sing live and sound good. And they destroyed her name, made her out to be on drugs. And the same way in which she died, the daughter died. Ain't that amazing? Now, what are the odds of the way she died, the daughter died, and they all saying the same thing? This is what they do to destroy a bloodline, destroy legacy. And they did the same thing with Twitch. That man had a lot of plans, a lot of great things that he had planned to do. There will never be another one of him, never. Allison was jealous of him the whole time, guys. We showed all the video clips. We showed all the interviews. She was jealous of that man. She didn't like the fact that he got all the attention. He got all the attention. She couldn't stand it. She took it away from him. She took that man's life, guys. In my opinion, allegedly, just for the record, my personal belief is that she had something to do with his death. I will always believe that. I would never trust a word she say.
It's just a time where we're having to peel back the layers and see just a tidbit of what Stephen had to endure. And
that's another thing. By the pure fact she came out and put all this info out about Stephen Twitch Boss, it goes to show what he had to deal with in the house. She probably was arguing with this man, belittling this man, threatening to reveal secrets of this man. She probably had dirt on him about various situations. You see what I mean? Let me respond to this. Let me see. T. Jizzy said, Whitney started using rocks because of Bobby. Bobby went from the soft to the hard bags, whatever the case is. But see, now here's the thing that you have to understand about the music industry, because the same thing happened with DMX. DMX told a story of how he got on drugs. A lot of times people look at DMX and they think, oh, he's just a crackhead, he on drugs. No, you have to understand, people that are on drugs, they didn't want to be where they were. They got addicted. That's just how it was in the crack epidemic and various other drugs. They got hooked and then they lose their mind. DMX said that somebody planted drugs in, I think, a cigarette or some weed or something that he had, some sort of joint, and they laced it with some drugs, and that is how he got hooked. And it was somebody that he looked up to that did that to him. And from then, he lost his mind. You see what I'm saying? They destroyed DMX because he was the type of rapper that always spoke the truth. And he kept it real. And he had a relationship with God. Despite all of the, the language or whatever the case it is, he's from the streets. It is what it is. You can't really judge a man like that. You have a lot of brothers out there that on the outward surfaces, they would look like they're rebellious, they're this and that, but no, they got a relationship with God. You'd be surprised who make it to heaven. You'd be surprised who make it to the kingdom. Throughout DMX's entire career, he always rep the Most High. He always did. He always would have a prayer. He would always speak on things, and people thought he was weird, but he really believed what he believed, even though he had issues with drugs. They tried to suppress him down, but they couldn't. So they said, you know what? We got to take him out. They do this all the time. Anytime someone get caught dead, they always say they went to a hotel. Do your research. Every time someone claimed they died by way of taking their life, it's always at a hotel. Come on, it's the same old story, same old blueprint. And they always sprinkle some drugs on them or put something in their pocket. You know, we found something in their pocket. We found a little substance on their shirt. Come on now. If Stephen Twitch Boss was on drugs, the wife would know. If you're around somebody all your life, you are supposed to know what they're about. If I'm on drugs, my wife is supposed to know. She would see my habits. She would see the changes. She would notice that there are certain mood swings. There's certain things that is different about me. And she's going to call me out on it and be like, what's going on? You all right? You've been acting a little strange lately. These are the things that make you understand that Allison knew exactly what she was doing. She purposely did something to this man from day one. Let's get back to the case.
Being that none of us, the family, for a person to be married to somebody that committed suicide, and then that person supposedly find a shoebox, disclose the contents of the shoebox with the entire world.
Right. Why would she do that? Why would she? First of all, why would drugs and stuff be in a shoebox in a closet if it's an addiction and something you want to hide? It won't be in the closet, guys. People that are on drugs do not keep stuff in their closet, guys. That's dumb. You're going to get caught. You're going to get found out. People that are on drugs, they hide it so well, there's no substance in the house. They go outside the house and they find these things. These are lies, fam. Listen, anybody that's really, if you grew up in a time where you had relatives that was on drugs, they never kept nothing in the house, guys. And if you were to find something, like say for example, a crack pipe or whatever the case is, that was hidden. You just couldn't find it in a closet sitting on the floor. This is how I don't believe her story 1 minute. I don't believe her story. She's lying completely. There's no way that happened.
Then read that your loving husband's journal, private personal journal, and then share the contents of that with the world.
Why would you do that? Why would you share the contents of his journal with the world? Who does that? That's private. She's after money, guys. The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. She loved money. Even though she got Twitch's money and various investments, she collected everything. And I bet you the family didn't get nothing. I bet you Twitch's mom and brothers and cousins, I bet you they got nothing. Nothing. Just like, now watch this now. Just like Kobe Bryant's family. Kobe Bryant's family didn't get nothing, guys. Nothing. After his death, the family didn't get anything. They're broke, while Kobe's widow walked away with over $400 million. The money started in the black family, but went to another family. Make it make sense. If you do your research, a lot of prominent black men that have been successful, made in a substantial amount of money, if you notice, if you do your research, the money leaves one family and goes to another. Same thing with many different families. You do your research, you'll find out, like, wow. And see, this is why a lot of you men, primarily you black men, matter of fact, I'm going to leave it alone. I think you know exactly what I was going to say. You knew exactly what I was going to say. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew exactly what I was going to say. That's all you got to do. Just look at who these black guys end up with. Look at who they end up with. Every time they get successful, look who they end up with. Then they get taken advantage of. Matter of fact, even the cousin, even his woman is not a black woman. His woman is not a black woman. I'm talking about the cousin. The cousin's woman is not a black woman. So I don't know what it is with these guys. I really don't know. And I ain't saying that you can't get with nobody of the other nations. But my point is this. I've seen too many stories like this, man. I've seen too many stories like this of black men getting with other nationalities of groups, and they get taken advantage of, man. Kobe got taken advantage of. tWitch got taken advantage of. What's this other guy, Russell Simmons? I mean, you look at the list, it's crazy. It's like you guys come in, build up these women, and then they take you to the cleaners and get all the money. And they never even did anything. You're the one that earned it. And they end up benefiting from it. But hey, to each his own. Do as you will, right? Love who you want to love. But me, I already know what it is, fam. And I stick with the black woman. Forget that. I've seen too many stories to learn a lesson. And I'm going to take what I've seen and put it all together. This woman never loved tWitch. Never did and never would.
It's very difficult to believe that you have any interest in protecting his legacy.
She never did. She never wanted to protect his legacy. Can't you see? She's making money off his legacy now. And it's going to get worse because after the book, she's going to get a show. She's going to get a show, guys. Listen, you heard it here first, right? Because I always do these videos first, and then everybody else start following along. She will be on TV, guys. She will be on a show, yes. She have it all planned out. She's going to be on a show. She's going to be in the public space because what she always wanted was his spot. They smile in your face. Whole while they wanted to take your place, backstabbers. She always wanted Twitch's notoriety, clout, fame. She wanted that love that the people showed him. She wanted that. And she knew when they did dance videos, they really wasn't concerned with her. It's tWitch who they loved. But see, the thing is, as a wife, you're supposed to accept that. If your husband is the star, if your husband is the one everybody love, it doesn't matter. Learn how to accept the fact that tWitch is the star. At least embrace the life you got and be accepting of, hey, I'm just not the one they love. I'm his wife. They appreciate the fact that I'm with him. Let me just do my job to take care of my husband because I know the people love him. That's all you got to do is play your position as a wife. Sometimes you wives be getting jealous of the husband because of his clout and his fame. Learn how to embrace the fact that, hey, you're with the man. Don't be jealous because everybody love him. You're with him. He's providing a life for you and your children. Don't be jealous. She was jealous the whole time. Destroyed his legacy. Allison, how come you didn't write a book, a tell-all book, about all the great things of Stephen Twitch Boss? How come you didn't write a book of all the people he helped? The things he spent money on to improve other people's lives? How come you ain't write a book talking about all the wonderful moments that you shared with him, that you will always cherish? Instead, you decide to air out dirty laundry to ruin a man's legacy, to ruin his name, to bring shame on his family, on his mother, cousins, brothers, sisters. Now they got to live in shame, knowing what you've done. You have no empathy for this man, your husband, the one you vowed to love in sickness and in health, till death do you part. And instead, look what you've done. How could you live with yourself? How could you live with yourself knowing what you've done? You were supposed to go to the grave with secrets. And I'm not even saying that what you found is real, because I don't believe it. I do not trust Allison. I don't trust her. There's nothing about her that I trust. From when my viewers pointed her out, she was on the radar. From day one, when I did my first live stream about Stephen Twitch Boss passing away, the live chat, you see like how you see the live chat? Everybody in the live chat was in agreement. If you go back to my first live stream that I've ever done about Stephen Twitch Boss, you would see the live chat go crazy. They were like, the wife, Ringo, the wife, she did it, the wife. Everybody was saying the wife. And I wasn't disregarding what my viewers are saying, because I always look to the viewers for information, because they know a lot about stories more than me at times. I just didn't want to come out the woodworks to put her on the chopping block just yet. I wanted it to marinate a little bit because the story had just broke. So I didn't want to just start pointing the finger. You get what I mean? And once they said that, I said, you know what? Let me listen to the audience, because, you know, just like in, I believe it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, when you're undecided with a certain question, you would ask the audience, and the audience would give their vote. And normally the audience is right. So when the audience was like, the wife, she did it. I started the investigation, started looking into it. And the more we looked into the story, the more Allison looked guilty. From the fact that she did no public interviews, she never denied anything in terms of Twitch allegedly taking his life. She believed the story. She didn't come out and say, that's not my husband. He would never do that. Stop lying on my husband. She didn't come into the public with that energy. He would never do that. He loved his kids. He loved me. He would never do that. Stop saying that about Twitch. Why would he take his life? Stop saying that. I want my husband's death to be investigated. She never did that. She wanted it to disappear as fast as possible. That's why she sold the house. That is why she wanted to move on. Talking about, I sold the house because I didn't want to keep thinking about his death. What? Why would you sold the house? All the memories, the kids, all the memories of that house belong to Twitch. Like, why would you do that? It don't make no sense, man. Let's listen to more.
And you have kids. You're always talking about how you're so concerned with how the family.
My apologies. Let me shout out this super chat from Odetta White. Appreciate you for your support, Odetta White. Good thing the viewers in the chat, I guess they had thumbed up your super chat. You said Ellen had her hand in it too. I feel strongly about that. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you for the support. You're right. We also did videos with Ellen DeGeneres. We did videos with her too. We brought out evidence that tie her to the situation as well. Some very damning evidence too. We're going to review all those tapes because there's so many videos that I've broken down, and a lot of people may have never even seen my videos regarding these situations. The videos were doing pretty well in terms of numbers and reaching people. But now that we have a book from this woman, and you know what's so crazy about this, guys? It's like, I don't want nobody to buy the book, but at the same time, knowing what's in that book can really show the true demon that is in Allison. It's like part of me want to know, and part of me don't want to support such a book. But from a journalist point of view, reporting the news, it's like I want to know what she really had to say. to use those words against her. I'm conflicted because I don't want people to support such a book because we know she's lying, but it's also good to know the lies, to expose the truth. I'm still undecided what I want to do. I'm still undecided. Maybe I can ask the court of public opinion, what should I do? Just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? What should I do, ladies and gentlemen? Shout out to Hamilton for the support. Appreciate you sponsoring the work. Said, thank you, Ringo. They need to reopen Twitch case and investigate this woman. Yeah. They need to investigate her. Definitely. What should I do? You think I should get the book just so I can study her mind, find out what's going on? What say the chat? Because I'm conflicted with what to do. Because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to tell you don't get it because of X, Y, and Z, and then I got to do that. But from a journalist's point of view of knowing what her mind is going, what's going on, what did she put in the book, what secret she revealed, so that the public can know. What say the chat? Matter of fact, let me do a poll because that would be better. Let me do a poll. Whatever the poll says is what we would do, right? Okay. All right. There's the poll. Let's see what the people say. Let's see what the people say. Because you have to look at this thing from an investigative point of view. From an investigative point of view, the book holds keys to the truth. And although purchasing the book will put money in her pocket, I don't really support her. I don't support Allison Holker. I believe that she had something to do with the death of Stephen Twitch Boss. But at the same time, from a journalist, investigative reporting point of view, studying such material holds information that will incriminate her. Because people make mistakes when they put things out. And they always say, if you want to hide the truth from a black man, put it in a book. Because he ain't gonna read. Is what they say. Let's see what we got. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to Liz for the support. Salute to Liz for the support. Appreciate you. Says you've been spot on from jump. Keep doing what you do, Ringo. And thank you. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. So far, we have 150 something odd votes. We got about 69% says yes, 31% says no. We're going to continue to let the votes come in as we continue to progress with the show. We're going to pretty much wrap it up soon, but I just want the people to decide. You know, because it's what the people want. Because maybe the people would want me to report on the book and find out what's in it, because it saves you time, because obviously you're not going to buy it. But if I read it, find out what's going on, that would make content. And I'll begin to break it down way better, because now we get to see the lies, the manipulation, what kind of secrets she put out there. And it'll bring a lot of closure to a lot of things. And perhaps it'll open up a case, because a book can break people. There have been situations where people made books, put out books, and their own book was used against them because of the information they had in the book. I remember there was one time, this one woman, she did a book. I ain't going to say who, where, but she put out a book, and her husband ended up finding about the book. And in the book, it revealed that she had an affair. But she put out the book in a way where it was secret. Like, she put out the book as a test thing to do a book just because she's an author. But in the book, it revealed that she was doing things on a low key. I got the book. I just said, let me get it. Matter of fact, I didn't purchase the book. Someone else had the book. They got a hold of the book exclusively, and they gave me the book. Now I got the book. I look at the book. I read the book. Found out she was doing dirt. I wasn't even supposed to get the book, because the way she did it, she only wanted certain people that she figured ain't going to talk to purchase the book. Some people she gave it to for free. And one of the brothers that was able to obtain the book, he gave the book to me. He was like, yo, man, you could probably make videos about it. Let's just say, you know what? Let me not say, because if I say what I was going to say, it would give away the location, what and who. They'll be able to put two and two together, so I can't even say that. I'll just keep that to me. I still got the book. And I don't know like what ended up happening in that situation, but it was revealed in the book that she was messing around on her man. And there was a lot of other dirt. It was a dirty book. I don't even know why she put it out. But this situation here is really bad, guys. And there's more relatives and friends that came forward. We're going to do separate videos for those particular situations. There's more information that came out. I believe one of his besties, or I'm not sure if it's a sister or cousin. They all look alike. Like, some of his cousins look like him. Like, they could all pass for brothers and sisters. But he have a big family. And I'm going to tell you straight, this man was not on drugs. Stephen Twitch Boss was not on drugs, guys. It's a lie. Allison put out, she fabricated this, guys, to make money. And it's sad. You really got to know who you're with, who you allow in your circle, who you marry. You got to really think about these things. Let's finish this up, and then we're going to pretty much wrap up the stream. And later on, we're going to do a full breakdown of the interview. That's going to be pretty good. But let's wrap this up.
Moves and the things that is being said on our personal pages. But you can go straight to the source and find out that you're delivering contents of shoe boxes. So let me ask the question, who stands to gain from this? Is it the world, or is it you? Because nobody benefits from you supposedly dropping dimes about your late husband. Honestly, that's the weirdest energy. It's weird.
The thing that's crazy about this is, and maybe this might differ from white folk or other ethnic groups of people, but in the black community, we can see that this is dirty. That's why he said drop dime and, dropping dirt on this man's name. We know that's the unpardonable sin. That's something we just don't do in the black community. Like, if we know something about our family member that's dirty, like, we don't put stuff out there like that. We know not to do that, even if we don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying? I know on social media, a lot of times you have family members be beefing and fighting and doing stuff, but we're talking about dirt, like major family baggage and laundry that just don't belong in the street. We don't do that type of stuff. That's like, it can get you in a real lot of hurting if you do stuff like that, especially if you're family. We know where you are, we know where you live, and you're doing evil like that. People will come see you. You know what I mean? There's some things that you just don't do. You don't talk about, you don't ever talk about. Even if it's bad, even if you don't agree with the person, there's certain information we never disclose to the public. In the family, we know about it. But in the public, it brings shame. It brings embarrassment to all of us in the family. So we don't do that type of stuff.
We all know that knew Stephen, that loved him. When he died, we all showed him honor. We've all showed him appreciation. We've given him tributes. We've given him posts.
Listen, the family is in shock with what Allison did, man. You have to understand, that really messed them up. I want to hear from the mom. I don't know if the mom have an Instagram or some social media, but the mom need to speak on this, man. She need to speak on this, man. And to those of you out there that don't understand what journalism is, in journalism or news reporting, one have to have material in order to speak on a story. Do you understand me? Because some people will be like, but if you buy the book, you're a hypocrite and you're this. You didn't just hear me saying I'm conflicted, and it would sound like I'm a hypocrite if I'm buying the book if I tell you don't support the book. Me telling you not to support the book is so that you don't put a bunch of money in her pocket. If everybody's buying the book, all y'all doing is making her rich. If I buy the book to report on the news, I'm not buying a book because I'm supporting her. I'm bringing forth the news and the story that you want to hear, because I'll break it down. I'm not buying a damn book to be entertained by this woman. I already know she a liar, but I want to know how many more lies she got in that book. For example, if I believe in the Bible, right, and somebody say, well, how do you know your book is the right book? What about the Quran or the Hadith? Well, I would have to go read it. I would have to go study it and find out what's going on in order for me to verify whether or not what is what. Just because I don't follow a book doesn't mean I can't read it to find out what's going on in that book, so I can have a better understanding of the Islamic faith or what it means to be a Muslim. It doesn't mean that I am taken away from my belief. It just means that I'm trying to understand why they believe what they believe. Do you understand? Doesn't mean you practice. So if I have to purchase something in order to understand what is going on in her mind, then so be it. For the sake of journalism and bringing forth the news that the people want to see. I mean, think about all the people that turned out during this live. They want to know the story. They want to understand what's going on. So now if everybody is purchasing the book, y'all just made her rich. She's got paid already, guys. So it doesn't matter who purchased the book. She already got paid. She already got her money. My point is this. No one should be buying the book in numbers because they're supporting her lie. I'm not supporting her. I'm doing content. That's all I'm doing. I don't purchase people books because they write a book. If it's a book that it's interesting to the public and finding out the truth, then there's more details that she's hiding. Because I can go ahead and purchase that book, report on what I'm finding, and tell you, don't even waste your money because there's nothing in there. It's a whole damn scam. And it would incriminate her even more to know that she released something when there's nothing in it. It's just an album filler full of garbage. And they spice it up in order for you to buy it because they figure you're a fan of Twitch, that you'll buy it from her. And I can report in the news and tell you don't buy it. Just like a lot of us that bought music CDs and things from back in the days, and we would come back to the people in the block and be like, bro, don't buy it. Don't even waste your money, dog. Come on, man. I was about to go get the record. Dog, don't do it. I already got it. It's right here. Don't do it. All the songs is garbage, fam. Only that one hit is the only song on the album. That's why back in the day, when we used to buy music, they used to have something called a single. You could buy a record with just that one single, and it would have the full song, the club version, and the instrumental. Because that was the best song on the album. You know what I mean? Depending on the artist. But then when you buy the album, the whole album is trash and you waste your money just to get one song. Don't make no sense.
You can carry on the charade with the public world, but we know exactly who you are. We see you. We dialed you up. And
now think about that. He said you could continue with the charades and all that other mess. We know who you are.
Exactly who you are. We see you. We dialed you up. And at the end of the day, you can act like however you want to act. You can be as Hollywood as you want to be, but you still got to live with yourself. Do you like what you see in the mirror?
She don't care because she's a narcissist. Narcissists don't care. They have no empathy for what they've done. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care. She don't look in the mirror. When she look in the mirror, she thinks she's a saint. People that are this callous, they don't have souls.
A liar, a narcissist.
And see, they know she's a liar because they know that Twitch wasn't on no drugs. Like I said, guys, I don't know if people are, I don't even know if people agreed with any of the things that I was saying earlier in the stream, but I mentioned that in the black community. Now, I don't know what it is like in the white community for those of you that have relatives that was on drugs at some point in their life, but in the black community, I know usins, right? When you have a relative from back in the day that was on drugs or crack or whatever, the family knew. We knew because we all talk. So if Twitch was on drugs of any kind, this brother here would know. He would know because he spent a lot of time with him. There's a lot of videos with him hanging around Twitch, his family, and so on and so forth. The kids, everybody came by this guy's house. I did some research on him, and Twitch is seen in a lot of videos with this brother here. And he spoke out a lot regarding the situation with Twitch. And he didn't like the fact of what was going on.
For what? You leverage Stephen's death to elevate yourself.
That's exactly what she did. I'm glad he's saying it. I'm glad one of his relatives, but I would really love for the mom. If there's anybody from Twitch's family that is watching this video, I don't know her situation. I don't know her health. You know, condolences to mom for Twitch. But mom, we need to hear from you. We need Mom Duke, the mother of Stephen Twitch Boss. We need for you to come into the public and speak. Speak your heart. Speak the pain that you felt. The denial of seeing your son, your child, your baby for 3 weeks after he passed. We need for you, Mom, to come into the public and share with us your mother intuition. The mother intuition. That gut feeling of a mother knowing her son. You know your son. You know the real Twitch. You know if he was on drugs. We need you to come into the public and deny all the things that Allison said. That's what we need. Now, maybe in the beginning when all of these things transpired, maybe you didn't know what to say, or maybe they made you sign documents not to speak. Maybe you were forced, threatened. I don't know. But we need Mom to speak boldly. The cousin that's featured in this video, get a hold of Mom. Get a hold of the family. You guys need to speak up now. You guys need to speak up. It can't be just you making a few videos. Y'all need to speak up as a whole and give pushback against Allison so that the public can see the outcry of the family. And what that's going to show the public is that the family is in total disagreement with what's going on. And that's going to speak volumes. It's going to make people want to know what's going on. And we need for Twitch Boss family to ask for a reopening of the case, because they closed the case so fast with Twitch. They closed it so fast, man. They literally closed the case and figure, okay, he dead. That's it. We done. You know? We need that case open again, because we're going to keep it alive on social media. We're going to keep it alive. If that can uphold Twitch's legacy, then we're going to do that. At least on this channel, this is what we're going to commit to doing. Because I've made some of the most eye-opening videos regarding the case, and it had great impact in these YouTube streets. It really done very well in getting the story out there. And I'm surprised with all of those videos, they didn't open the case again. We asked so many good questions that would put Allison in the hot seat. She should have been investigated from the beginning. Normally they do that when you have a husband that died and the wife is still living and he's in a hotel with a bullet in his head. Normally the wife get investigated because they got to figure this thing out. They got to find out, were y'all fighting? Was y'all arguing? What was going on 2 weeks before now? We need videotapes. Could we check the Ring camera? Because, you know, sometimes going through your Ring camera tells a lot. Where you see Twitch coming in the house, leaving the house, coming in the house, you see the days go by, you see him getting in the car. You can see certain patterns, certain things to know there's a disconnect. We'll see which side he walked when he walked outside the house. I'm telling you, she scrubbed the internet of the Ring camera footage. She scrubbed everything. There's a way to still get it. All of that stuff can be gotten. It can be retrieved, even if they delete it. But this story right here is not going to end no time soon. Let's get back to the case.
It's sad. It's sad. And you know, I just know it needs to be said. And I don't know who's going to say it. I don't know, but it's me. You know, it's me. And, you know, Stephen was somebody. He was great. He was remarkable. He was talented. He was gifted. He was nurturing. He was respectful. He was mindful. And I know 100% that if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be revealing the contents of your shoebox with the world. And your journal would be intact with him, because he'd have respect and honor for who you were. Much better than I can say for you.
I mean, his closing words about Twitch not revealing what's in her shoebox was deep. A man would have kept that to himself and not air it out, just to protect his family, the legacy of his wife, and his children. But Allison, if this don't speak volumes of her true intentions, I don't know what else will. Appreciate you all for stopping by. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel today. We will keep you posted. More content to come. We'll be doing a full breakdown of the interview today, and it will be interesting. We are going to thoroughly break down the interview. So be there. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Salute to everybody that rock with the platform. I'll catch you later on Ringo TV Reactions. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you later on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.